And good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing? As you come into the room, please hit the like button, or as you click on the video, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and also share the video. Sharing the video and liking the video, it helps the video to circulate. I hope that you all are having a great day today. To my subscribers, I want to thank you all for your support. You have really been showing support and showing out. I appreciate that so much. You don't have to do that, but you do. It makes me feel good. And as long as I can, and if it's God, when it's God's willing, and it be God's willing, I'm going to bring you as much good content as I possibly can. Okay. I was sitting here and I was thinking, and I was like, in a world today where everybody is competing to be great, you know, and people have so much going on. People carry a lot of burdens on their shoulders. And I think about like all of the talent. Everybody has a talent, whether they've tapped into it or not. We all have a talent, we all have greatness. And, I think about sometimes how I see people and they are full of gifts and full of talent and they don't even realize it yet, because they have the wrong types of people around them that are draining them. You have to be extremely careful when you have the wrong types of people around you because because a lot of people are put on assignment, right, by the enemy. Okay, especially when you are full of gifts. A lot of people are put on assignments. And sometimes they come in the form of some of the people that are closest to us, whether it be relatives, whether it be spouses. Some people are put on assignment to try and stop um, the mandate on your life, because we're all put here for a purpose. And I think that's one of the reasons why I know for me, sometimes when I get on here, I don't be wanting to preach, but I always end up preaching because I've always been a very passionate person. You know what I mean? As far as, I do research and stuff all the time. I'm always um, doing things to and trying to read up on how I can help, to make this, do my part in this world. Always trying to figure out, and utilize, figure out why God truly has me here because we were all here for a reason and utilize that to its fullest potential, while I'm here on this earth, you know. And I think with a lot of people, so many people are lost. I think I was talking about African American boys and how I always had a issue in like calculus and algebra, you know, like, stuff like that. But I was always really good with like English and reading and stuff like that, even though my eyes and stuff and got bad on here when I'm reading. But I was always, those were my strengths, studying about science and stuff like that piqued my interest. But I was not good in algebra and I was not good in calculus and stuff like that. And I used to always wonder, but I was always really good with like multiplication. I was better in multiplication than I was. It's weird in addition and subtraction because sometimes I get to add and I go 5, 6, 7, 8. I count on my fingers because I forget. But multiplication, I made straight A's in it. It's just kind of weird. I don't know if that's goof, but it's weird, right? Multiplication and division, I was really good in. But I thought about how black boys are automatically so smart, but there is like a hit on our men. You know what I mean? I'm talking about as it relates to higher powers. And I think that's why I get so passionate when I see other people who make it out of the community and then they start taking money to keep the community that they came out of oppressed. It makes me very emotional because I understand what's going on. especially when we could be proud of people coming out of the community, and they kind of keep us like crabs in a barrel. But back to the black men, like, when I was in school and I would go, the boys would be playing and horse playing, and they were not good in English or nothing. They didn't study, but when it came to that algebra, they caught on to it like the first time. And it wasn't, and I probably talked about this before, it wasn't until later on that I found out, and when I was an adult, that algebra and science, and they don't tell you that, but like math, and algebra, and things of that nature was created over in Africa. If you do your history, you would know that. And it hit me. I was like, dog, it's just in their DNA, and a lot of things are in our DNA. And I understand the agenda, as it relates. Black men are a threat. They are, because of the greatness that is tied up in their loins. So they put them in situations to become predators to their community, right? That's why you see them dropping drugs and things of that nature within the community. And that's why I always talk about, we cannot have codependent personalities, and fathers and mothers, got to start back protecting their seed, their children, at all costs, because there is an agenda and a hit on our generations. And it hurts me when I see people that look like us, that is a product of that environment, and then God blesses them to come out because the people within that environment help them to come out, and then they send destruction back. I am very serious about that. We definitely got to stop that. Not that I want to be hard on people, but I have to speak truth. If we don't talk about it, it continues on, and it has to stop, because we need our men, we need our young mothers, we need them to continuously reproduce, but we need the men to be there to help them to reproduce, and also to help them to raise up a generation of healthy children. But at this point, it is a repetitive cycle. Like, there are a lot of messed up people, a lot of unhealthy people, you know but you know but it could be turned around. It could definitely be turned around if we had enough people to truly care. Don't y'all know some of the best things come from the bottom? Some of the best things come from the bottom. I'm talking about some of these people that feel like they ain't got nothing. Those are some of the best things that could be grown into roses and flowers, and because a lot of times that's where all of that talent is. That's why you see so many of these young men, they're good with rapping. God has given them a talent. Unfortunately, the enemy is finding a way to weaponize that, because Black men are the leaders, and there's a higher power that we don't see. People that's in back rooms that's working on that, but I can't understand how any African American person, just for some money, could ever take money to help to destroy the future of their community. Okay, that's why I say a lot of people you just have to let God deal with, and trust me, God is in this, so God is going to deal with that. you know but we have to start waking up and nurturing. If you have children, you have nieces, you have nephews, you see somebody with a talent, we got to start helping them to nurture that. We got to start helping them to nurture that. you know that's why, for me, I understand. Like, I was taught by my dad, and then my dad and them were entrepreneurs. My dad and them came from nothing and went on to do great things within their community and to build great things. And they came from nothing, you know. But I was always taught that what I do is not for myself. What I do is for my children and my children's children. What I do, even on here, is not for myself. It's for some young African American girl to be able to see me and go, you know what? If she could do that, even on my TV show, on my local TV show, If she could do that, I could do that. I don't have to go sell myself for $40. Like, what we do is not about us. It's always about passing the torch on. And the problem is, so many people have become selfish. They don't feel like they're supposed to pass the torch. They don't even want to build anything for their children. It's only about now. It's about how I feel. That's why so many people can take folks out and not have a problem with it, because they're emotionally unstable and they're messing their lives up for because of how they feel within the moment. And that's completely messed up. They're not thinking about when they go and they're doing things that could get them taken locked up for life. They're not thinking about their children and their women, how they're left out here with nothing. These women are left out here to fend for themselves. Stress is something else. I'm a woman, and I've always been a single mother, and I'm gonna tell you this: I'd have been left out there by myself if I did not have a supportive family. I would have been left. I was a very blessed girl because I made some bad decisions. Okay. And people make bad decisions, but there are a lot of women that are not as fortunate as I was. They didn't, I had my dad, I had my mom that made sure that my children were okay, that I was okay, that I was able to continue going to school and to do whatever it was that I needed to do to better myself. They gave me that financial support, and I had in-house babysitters. You see what I mean? When I needed to go to school or with college or whatever, I had that, or to a job, I had that. But there are a lot of young women that don't have that. They're already single mothers, and then they have, young men who are making temporary, making like crash dummy decisions, and now they're left out there to raise all these children, and they're young themselves, all about nothing, you know. And so it's becoming like a generational curse. And so I got on here, I was thinking about that. I was like, I say this all the time: our community, need repair. I think, you know what? I think one of the reasons why I love reading about our history. It makes me feel good, with the Cornelia Crenshaw found a museum that's opening, the African American Women's Museum that my dad is opening in downtown Memphis, and um and reading about like our history. Like, whenever I get time, it's something about Harriet Tubman that I cannot get enough of. And when I was able to find her books and find out that there was two books, and you can get them on Amazon, because there was a lot of books written about her, but there's two that was written while she was still alive. And she actually, because she could not read and write, she spoke as the lady translated her actual words. And when I found that, I mean, I felt like I had hit the jackpot to actually hear what she had to say in her own words was just out of this world. And what they try to do is they try to write people like Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth, who was out there. Um, um, she was an activist for women's rights and voting and things of that nature. They don't want young, and you think about years later, Miss Cornelia Crenshaw. They don't want women to know. They don't want these young girls to know that there was women like that actually had class, that was fighters, that was bold, that fought for their communities, and they kept their clothes on. You think about, around Harriet Tubman in them time. Harriet had a feisty personality. Of course, I'm sure, they was raped by their masters and stuff, but that was during another era. But, but they don't want young girls to know that there was actually women like that in history, not African American girls. They want them to look up to like the Kim Kardashians and people like that, a bunch of women that has ruined a whole damn generation, that has made it popular to be a whore. Okay. And I say that with a lot of love, because it is the truth. This is what they are doing to our generations. And we sit back and allow it to happen when we have the control to stop it. All we got to do is make sure we don't tune in to the Kardashians. We don't give them no ratings. If they don't get no ratings, then they can't get the advertisement. Okay. And they put that stuff off of the TV. We have the power to change a lot of this stuff. I'm very passionate about we cannot continuously allow people to gun down our up and coming leaders because of their jealousy or because they just, it ain't nothing personal. It's a bag. Okay. Well, there are going to be some consequences for that. Okay. Because if the law don't handle it, there are consequences. We let the law handle stuff, but there are consequences for taking out leaders. They quietly do it in other communities. We cannot continuously allow stuff like this to happen. There are consequences for politicians selling us out. We don't re-elect them. We don't vote for them. When we feel like politicians and things of that nature are helping people to destroy our community and they're taking money, these lawmakers, to let some of these people off, we got the power to not re-elect them. We put them up out of office. That's how we handle that, but we don't do that. They have gotten our race and our community into a habit of just complaining and wanting to start riots and going and burning down stores and kicking out windows in your own damn community. How you gonna get mad and let somebody start an organization and a movement to get you angry enough to destroy the damn community you got to lay your head in? You don't even have a car, but you going and burning down the only store in your community that you could walk to and get your bread and milk for your children. And it's a black owned store. That's an oxymoron, but that's what we have allowed people to do to us. And so because I know that even dating back to Africa, I see why they do what they do to I know why they do what they do to the Africans, because all of the riches, all of the gold and the diamonds and the minerals right to this day is over in Africa. And they don't even know how rich Africa is. A lot of Africans, they don't know, and that's why they keep them oppressed. You know? So when you have what people are afraid of, and like I said, I think about our community, and our community is loaded with nothing but talent and greatness and things of that nature. They don't ever want us to know that. And it's so hurtful when people make it out and they couldn't care less about the community. They'll come back and hijack it. They'll put businesses in the community. That's not helping our community. When you put businesses in the community, you getting rich off of that. That's why I always say that's hijacking the community. When you come and put a business in the community, but you don't put anything good back in the community, that's hijacking actually hijacking that community. Okay. So that's why I say, y'all, it's time for us to, for us to start helping each other to wake up that greatness. I see a lot of talent on YouTube. There are a lot of talented people on YouTube. They have the gift of gab. They do. They, whether they stuff true or not, they know how to command attention. And that's the God's truth. There are some people that I go and I look at, I go, dog, they are very talented. You can't take that from them. Talent, the Bible says the gift comes without repentance. Now, God gives you a talent and you have you can command attention. How you use it, that's between you and your, how they use it is between them and their God. But there are a lot of people that's full of nothing but gifts, and we got to stop getting jealous of people, because every God has equipped us all with different gifts, and stop trying to tear people down. Okay. We got to stop doing that. People are so damaged that they look for any and everything and any reason to try to tear somebody down. We can't do stuff like that. But it all stems from something on the inside of them, that jealousy, that anger that they haven't dealt with. That's why I don't participate in tearing people down. As I was saying before, I get people to send me all types of stuff on people. I just can't participate in taking down someone else. I can't do that. If a person, I'm okay with not knowing who, if a person don't want you to know who they are, why is it that we feel like we need to get on a mission of trying to figure out who they are just to destroy them? That's evil on a whole nother level. Especially if that person has not done anything with you. If a person say their name is something on YouTube, I'm okay with that. I think sometimes that's the reason why we stay off of course, because we stay in things that don't even matter. We can't, they could have a good ass message. Oh, well, they got a mask on. We get caught up in things that don't even matter instead of listening to the message. And that's another reason why a lot of our community is behind, because we take our eyes off of what's important. Did you hear the message? No, she had covered her face up, but did you hear the message? Because it was a good message. Did you hear that? Y'all, we got to take our minds out of garbage. And once we start taking our minds out of garbage, that's when you're going to start to see how prosperity is going to start coming towards you. Right now, ain't nobody getting what they could get, because ain't nothing but bad karma coming to them, because people are always trying to figure out how to take the next person down. Now, when somebody has done something bad, now I know folks about what, this Dolph's case, the people that did this to Dolph got to pay to Dolph as well as other people, because I have other cases and stuff that I'm going to talk about. Dolph's case is not, I'm gearing up to do it. His is not the only one, and that's just bringing awareness. And it's not to take people down, because you can't, in a lot of these cases, the authorities already know what has gone on. No vlogger can take down nobody. Okay. The authorities know more than what we could ever know. That's why I can't understand why these folks still getting themselves messed over trying to put hits on folks and the people listening to them. Okay. It's just people like that don't deserve to be amongst, really, they don't need to be out, and they don't need to be amongst decent people, because they're animalistic. They have a false sense of security. Where that has came from, I don't know, but a lot of times prison bring them back to reality. Life in prison. Okay. They figure out, I wasn't Superman like I thought I was. I couldn't, I wasn't God. Because when you start thinking that you could take somebody's life because they said something to make you feel a certain way, that means you're trying to be in the position of God, and you don't have that type of authority. So that's why the lawmakers have to make laws against stuff like that, to put you in a cage for the rest of your life. Okay. And it ain't until then they come back to reality, because they realize nobody really give a damn about me. I should have acted right, because God had given me the opportunity to make millions of dollars when I was on the outside, but I believe the hype, and now I'm in here in a cage, and they treat me like I'm a damn animal. But that's what I kind of act like when I was on the outside, when God had blessed me and I had a lot of prosperity. So you have free will too. That's why I say we have to, if we can plant a good seed, start telling these people truth instead of kissing up to them for their money. You can't get, when a person got money, and I see it because I have cousins that are street dudes, and I don't agree with everything that they do, but they get money some kind of way. They're getting it, and I see how they have people around them that won't tell them the truth, other than family. And a lot of times you look at that stuff in disbelief. You go, dog, why in the hell they won't say? Well, if they won't say it, I'm gonna say it. But that's what's happening. You got people that are agreeable because they want crumbs. They haven't figured out that they don't have to be somebody's yes man. They can go, if they actually went and tapped into their own greatness, they wouldn't have to be somebody's yes man and be out doing things that's going to get them taken away from their family. But people are such low-key groupies, and the love of money got so many people just completely screwed up. It's got our whole community screwed up, and all of the greatness and gifts is in the Black community. Everybody comes and hijacks us in our community because we're too busy having that crabs in a barrel mentality. We can't even see what nobody else is doing because we're too busy trying to pull each other back down in a bucket. And we got to stop that. We got to stop that. But that's what I was getting on here for. That's the message I have for today. I was thinking about that and I was like, let me get on here and talk about that. But just remember, some of the best things come from the bottom. So just because you at the bottom right now don't mean a darn thing. Okay? You a darn concrete rose. Okay? You a darn concrete rose. Okay? And I want you to remember that. You can grow into something beautiful if you tap into your inner peace and get all of these maggot type people away from around you, because a lot of people just come to suck the life out of you like a leash. They want to make sure that you don't prosper. A lot of these people are put on assignment. I'm telling you, a lot of times, because you don't have the confidence in yourself, a lot of people can see the gifts on your life that you can't even see on your life, and they standing right there to discourage you and keep you into garbage, because they see that if you ever tap into it, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and they are afraid of that. Everybody agreeing with you ain't for you. Okay? They are thieves. They come to steal and hijack what they know that God has on the inside of you, and you ain't even tapped into it yet. You don't even know how great you are. They know how great you are. That's why they hang around you. But you don't. That's why we have to start back teaching these young adults self-worth. And we have to start teaching by example and then find out what self-worth. Because there are a lot of adults that are my age, 41, 42 years old. They don't even know their self-worth. They don't even know who they are, even in their 40s. How can we help a younger generation if we're not trying to get and better ourselves? What we do is not about us. It's about them. Stop. Get out of that. People are so selfish. It ain't about us. We come to make it better for the people behind us. And the sooner that our generation realize that, the better off we're going to be. Okay? That's when things are going to change. Okay? But I want y'all to have a good night. I might get on tonight. I don't know. I'm stuck trying to do some background checks for a company. But I want you all to have a good night. I love you all. And again, I want to thank you all for your support. I really do. Y'all are awesome. Y'all rock. And I really enjoy my subscribers, because I got some mature ass subscribers all day, every day. We some grown folks, okay? I'll talk to you guys later.